Those are bad. Those are really bad. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Asia and I am a beauty and lifestyle and curly hair vlogger. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my eyebrow routine, which will include how I shape them up, how I shape up my natural brows, as well as how I actually fill in and, I don't want to say style, do you style brows? How I do my makeup routine for my brows. So if that's something that you're interested in, then keep watching. Okay, so to get started, I found this little makeup mirror at Five Below. It was $5 and it comes with a little light on it. The first product that I'm using is the Anastasia Brow Definer in the color Chocolate. I've found that the little spoolie that's on it is really just the best for brushing my brows. So even though I'm actually out of this brow pencil, I still go ahead and use it for brushing my brows and shaping them up and then blending, as you'll see a little bit later. The next step that I do is grab my little scissors. They're actually hair cutting scissors. And I brush my brows upward, as you saw, and then I go in with the scissors as close as I can, and I just kind of cut any of the hairs that are out of that natural line. Next, I'm going to go in with just a little bit of witch hazel. I use the Big Lots brand and a cotton pad, and I will go in and wipe my brows just to clean up any of the hairs that might have fell into my eyebrows as I was cutting them. And then a big part of me doing my brows is just brushing them upwards, because I feel like that's when you get the best angles. Then I take this little brow razor tool. I think I got it from Big Lots as well, but you can find them at TJ Maxx, Walmart, Target, any of those. And I just go in and start shaving underneath my brows where those little loose hairs are. I try not to get too close to my brows, because with these you have to be very careful, because you can take your entire eyebrow off. I have cut a little slit into my eyebrows before on accident. They're not super sharp, but they will cut your eyebrows, so be very careful if you're using this tool. Following the eyebrow razor, sometimes with that razor, if there are hairs that are really long or just stubborn, the razor doesn't want to take them off. And so I go back in with a set of tweezers. These are my favorite kind to use. I think that they're the best and I recommend them to everybody. I got these from Big Lots as well. As you can tell, that's a store that I shop in a lot. But I'm just going underneath my brows and getting any of those hairs that are out of my natural brow line. I try not to pluck too much near my arch or near my the wing or the tip of my eyebrow, because I don't want to mess up my natural shape, but I will go in and clean them up. So you can already see the difference between the two sides of my eyebrows just from using the razor and tweezing. So just be very careful again once you're using that razor or when you're tweezing, because you don't want to over tweeze and look like you're in the early 2000s. In this clip, you can actually see that I don't actually enjoy tweezing because it does hurt to me. I have really sensitive skin, especially that part underneath my eyebrows. So you'll see me go, ow, ow, a few times, because you just hit that one hair and it really hurts. You can feel it across your face. So just be warned, this is not always the prettiest process, but what matters is the pretty end result. And so now I'm going to go back in again with my cotton pad and my witch hazel just to go ahead and clean up any leftover hairs. And I am brushing my eyebrows up again to get ready to fill them. So now I'm going to show you how I actually fill my brows. So step one, I'm using the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Latte. This is actually my first time ever using it. because I had a gift card to Ulta. I typically would use a Wet n Wild pencil, but as you can see, it's out. And so I really struggle getting these boxes open sometimes, but yeah, I'm using the shade Latte. It ended up being a little bit lighter than I was expecting, but I think it worked out well still. So you can see the difference in the sizes of my different pencils, because as I said, this one is a micro brow pencil. And tell me if I'm the only person, but I have to like write on my hand a little bit whenever I first get a new brow pencil, because it's like the color just does not want to show up. That might just be, you know, user error, but let me know. Step 2, I'm gonna actually go in and fill my brows. So how I do it is I start underneath and like draw a line, and then I draw the line above my brows, but I'm just following my natural brow, just because I want them to look as natural as they possibly can. Some people prefer to go over where their brow actually begins, and that's fine as well. That's just not what works for me. And once I have the 2 lines, I'm actually gonna shade in the brow. But you'll see the front of it looks kind of boxy, and you can see the difference in my eyebrows whenever they're filled versus not filled. And then I'm just going to do the same. With this one, I chose to start with the tail of my eyebrow, but still doing the underline and then the above line. And then I go in and fill the front. But you'll see me check. I'll lean back from the camera a couple times just to make sure that I'm, you know, filling them in at least kind of equally. I know they say eyebrows are sisters, not twins, but they don't need to be distant cousins. Step 3 is to blend. This is the most important step. I feel like this is a step that a lot of people skip, and that's why they end up having boxy brows. So please, people, always remember to blend your brows. I just go in at the very front and very lightly blend them in. You can see the difference in blended brows versus non-blended brows. Step 4 is to conceal. I use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Natural in my little beauty blender. It's like a mini one that I got from Target. And my brush is a Morphe concealer brush. It's number M165. I just put a little bit of concealer on the edge of the brush. It's a very strange process, but that's how I do it. And then I just follow right underneath my brow very carefully, but as close as I can get, because I feel like this is just the most natural way to fill in your eyebrows, or to conceal your eyebrows. Here you'll see me go back in with my concealer brush, and I'm actually going to pull that concealer down so that way it's not super cakey up around my eyebrows. I like to do that just because sometimes it can get really thick, and I have oily skin, so it'll like move around during the day. And then I get my mini blender or beauty blender, and I drag that down a little bit more as well, so that way it's not as prominent that I put concealer right underneath my eyebrows. And I just go ahead and do that to both sides, and I do it in the middle so you can't see. It kind of erases that line where I blended the middle of my eyebrows. You can see the difference in how much cleaner it looks when you conceal it versus not concealing. So after you blend, that is the last step for the brows. And here is the finished product. I don't think that your makeup is complete unless you have eyebrows on, but I'm obsessed with how they look after I first do them. I just think they look amazing. So let me know what kind of videos you want to see next, and of course, like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.